This year, 2024, is the special 60th anniversary of the filming of The Sound of Music, which was released in 1965. And behind me is possibly the most famous hill in filming location history. That, behind me, is the legendary Sound of Music Hill, where that amazing moment performed by Julie Andrews happened. Okay, so that view is literally just up there. Okay, and today is the 4th of June 2024, which makes today the 60th anniversary of the day that Julie Andrews filmed that twirl, which was on the 4th of June 1964. So 1964 is of course when they filmed The Sound of Music, and that was actually the last thing that they filmed on location. So obviously, like 60 years ago, they had the helicopter coming in. Paul Beeson was the cameraman, the very brave cameraman who got that legendary shot for us all. So a huge thank you to him, and of course Robert Wise, the director, who would have been camouflaged in that woodland there. I'll take you up the hill in a minute. Yes, so of course the helicopter flew in, and of course we all know that famous story how after each take the downdraft from the helicopter blew Julie Andrews into this long grass, and it's long grass up there at the moment. It's wonderful, and it's quite warm today. It's really warm. It's lovely. So yeah, I'm gonna, before I take you up the hill though, I'm going to show you some other things. Okay, so this is, believe it or not, the property that was Julie Andrews' dressing room 60 years ago, though it was at the front of the property actually. But yeah, this was Julie Andrews' dressing room 60 years ago. So she would have got into her Maria von Trapp. Actually, no, she was Maria Rayner at the time, wasn't she? Because she hadn't yet gone to the Von Trapp villa. So she would have got into her Maria Rayner costume. Now that's the wonderful costume design by Dorothy Jeekins. And we've got other fabulous Sound of Music memorabilia here. So we have the fantastic... where is it? Here we are. This is the very famous shot of Julie Andrews twirling with the view in the background. But then for the DVD covers and the posters, they edited it, chose a different background. It's the same, but that still happened on the hill, just behind this property, because that's the original photo, but it's been edited and more buttercups in the meadow and things. But if you're wondering what these are the throat pastils that Julie Andrews used to suck when she was on the hill. I can't name the brand, unfortunately, but if you read her autobiography Homework, she does mention these throat pastils. And we've got a wonderful old Sound of Music vocal selection there, and then this fabulous mug which says on it The Sound of Melvweg 1964 to 2024, and there's the famous helicopter shot which happened 60 years ago today, and there's the legendary shot, and the other moments from the scene. So that's a very rare mug. That's Julie Andrews in the Untersberg mountain behind her. I'll point that out when we get up onto the hill. A Sound of Music CD, the 40th anniversary DVD, the 50th anniversary DVD. And I'm now going to show you some very special and rare photos. So that's them filming on the hill. So that's the Untersberg mountain behind there. That's the helicopter. That was 60 years ago today. How amazing is that? 60 years ago that happened. Julie Andrews in between takes. That's the bit of forest I pointed out where Robert Wise was camouflaged. It's a bit busy here today. I wonder if Julie Andrews is going to come. Oh no, it's a delivery. That's the famous brook, which was a horseshoe shape. That's them building the brook with the Untersberg in the background. That's the landowner, Annie Stocker, and her son, I think he's called Thomas. So yeah, she owned this farmhouse 60 years ago. It's a very, very famous shot, that. And of course that's the famous twirl, the hills are alive. These are publicity shots, these, by the way. And that's another publicity shot. Now this hill here, you can see from the property. I'll zoom in on it, and you can see it there. That's that there. And there's a church at the side there on the right. You can just see the church. But yeah, that is that famous shot there, and you can see the church just there as well. So isn't that amazing? And of course Julie Andrews got up onto the hill by an oxen cart, which was so Annie Stocker's neighbour volunteered, and the oxen cart went up on the hill. This is Julie Andrews with Mark Brough, the choreographer, and Dee Wood, sheltering under the birch tree set with tarpaulin in between rain showers. And Mark Brough and Dee Wood did the choreography for Mary Poppins and also Chitty Chitty Bang Bang as well, two other much loved films. And that is Julie Andrews' daughter Emma and Annie Stocker's son, actually on the steps of this property that I'm on right now. So it would have been just down there somewhere. 60 years ago though. And of course there's the famous spot where she twirled, and the tracks and everything, you know, a little vehicle there as well. And in the winter, this is the hill, what it looks like in winter. It's used as a sledging slope actually in winter. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get up onto that legendary hill and show you what you all want to see. Okay, so this is, you know, so exciting. So that's the hill. The sun's gone in a little bit. I'm going to go through all this long grass and get absolutely soaked because it's been raining for the past 48 hours. It was pouring down last night. Now Diane Sawyer came here 10 years ago with ABC television to film a documentary special called The Untold Story of the Sound of Music. And Diane went up this pathway here, through the wood and onto the hill here. But that pathway is a bit muddy at the moment, so we're going up the route that Julie Andrews took instead, which is much more exciting. Look at the buttercups. Oh, there we go. Look at the land. Beautiful Bavarian countryside. Now that's a famous shot there. So that's the shot that you see in the background when she's running off the hill after she's heard the bells of Nonnberg Abbey. She grabs her wimple and runs off in that direction. Oh, we're just a few feet away now from this location. The spot where capital T, the twirl happened. 60 years ago today. Oh, we're getting there. Just a few feet away now, just a few seconds. Oh my God. You're gonna have to give me a second to get my breath back. Oh my God. Now this wasn't here 60 years ago, this is a ski lift. I spoke to the landowner and it's out of use at the moment. And that's the Untersberg mountain behind me. In front of me, sorry. Right, are you ready for the view? Here we go. The hills are alive. Look, that is the famous view. I am so out of breath after that. My goodness. So yes, 60 years ago today, the famous helicopter with Paul Beeson would have flown in over the Untersberg, would have lowered and hovered here and got the opening shot that we all know and love around the world. And the weird thing about being on this land is that right now, as I speak, there will be millions of people watching the opening scene because, of course, it's such a well-loved film. So people in Japan will be watching it, America, England, so many places around the world who will be watching the hill that I am stood on right now and watching that very moment that happened 60 years ago today. I feel quite emotional, really, to be here. And by the way, just to make it clear, this is private land, so you cannot just come here. I got permission from the landowner, so I did do the right thing. And if you want to come here, you should too. Don't just rock up here, don't trespass. Make sure you get permission, please. Okay, so there we are. And that's the forest where Robert Wise and Mark Brough and D.D. Wood would have been camouflaged during that famous opening shot which happened here. Now look at that. That's just legendary. It's a holy place for Sound of Music fans, it really is. It's just phenomenal. So this is actually the view that Julie Andrews would have had when she filmed that opening shot. So there we go. And I can indeed confirm that the hills are still alive with the Sound of Music. Happy 60th anniversary to the Sound of Music, and thanks for watching. It's absolute heaven to be here. I can die happy now. Tick it off my bucket list. Bye!